a brief check-in. I've just read out chapter 9 and 10 of the Rovers at School um, by Edward Stratemeyer. Um, Fortunately, this is the chapter where we meet a person of color, a servant named Alexander, who Tom, our probably main hero of the Rover Boys. He is the trickster guy who wiggles around and plays pranks and is a bit of a barracks lawyer. He bribes Alex to get him some food when he's given just sort of bread and water. Uh, and yeah, they've got his dialogue is in dialect. And yeah, sir, if you're going to have a person of color, it's going to be somebody who's a servant. I mean, we've already had the thing of like, oh, servants are kind of comedic characters, whether they're black or white. So there's a class thing, but then it's going to be a racial thing. Um, it's one of these things of, yeah, like with people of color who are portrayed in stories like this, they're going to be side characters. They're servants, somebody who can be bribed. Um, it's, and he definitely takes the bribe. It's not like, I don't need your money, kid. I feel sorry for you or something like that. It's like, no, I need 25 cents. Thank you, sir. So everything's, it's using, dialect as that other way to kind of diminish the character. It's one of these things. It's like, well, do I think that black people didn't talk this way, especially in front of white people at the time? No, but it definitely is. It's 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 definitely casting them a certain way as just lesser. So you know, I know that these characters are going to appear in stories in literature. I'm going to read Kipling for God's sakes, and I know that that's going to be equally. I'm going to just sit in that kind of like, okay, this is how people were treated at this time. This is how people were thought of at this time. Um, you know, it is a minor part of this plot, but it's just notable for like, okay, we're getting, you know, yeah, I do think of movie critics talking about like, watching movies of the 30s and 40s and 50s. It's like, yeah, you basically kind of have to assume that everybody at this point is a racist, and not just when the people of color are not around, but that's when it slaps you in the face when suddenly someone's going to slip into blackface, which, to be honest, when you see a white author depict a black character, there's a part of it that feels like that's blackface. We're getting a caricature. We're getting this is how they think a black person um, thinks and acts and feels, and it's extremely limited. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I just like, I know this is reverberating with various other things I've seen in the thing, and what it makes me think of is like I need to read some of the uh, the black authors of the time to get that kind of a picture at the same time as I'm getting depictions of people of color from white authors from the dominant culture. I should also try and balance that out by getting some uh, stuff from black people of color, various things, just in general, just to kind of get the not the other side, but to get a fuller picture of what the hell's going on here, because you're only getting very much one side of the story. And I mean, this is in a very simple boys boarding school adventure. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at that. All right, I'll leave it there. More videos later.